Welcome, dear listeners. I'm Jonathan Carlin.
And I'm Benjamin Carlin.
And we invite you to join us through the Griffin door, your one-way ticket to the enchanting world of Harry Potter. So grab your wands and dust off your broomsticks and join us as we unlock the potion-stained pages of the Half-Blood Prince, Chapter 10, The House of Gaunt.
Oh my goodness. If there, I mean, I know we say it often. There's a lot. There's a lot of highlighter on my pages.
It is dripping. I mean, this is such a good chapter. It is like huge Voldemort lore drop.
Yes.
You know,
I mean, it's such a thick concentration. I mean, on my last page, I literally have a note that just says like, you almost could make the argument that every single word in this chapter could have been highlighted. Like,
yeah, right.
You know, because normally that's like my little mark for like, okay, this is significant. This is significant. Like, you know, because there's like little back and forths, you know, if they're talking about like doing homework or something silly that doesn't have like implications, it's like, okay, we don't need that for the recap of what we're doing here. But this is like everything is important.
Everything's important, you know?
So much so that like I got to the end of the chapter, which is obviously as I'm marking it up, the last thing that I do, and I'm looking at the beginning of the chapter, and it's like Harry is like back in class and stuff, and I'm like, Harry has class at all in this chapter? Like,
I know, like he's in potions.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah,
none. But before we get into the chapter in earnest, we obviously have to take a quick look at the chapter art here for the House of Gaunt, which is going to depict this. It's very like an overgrown, almost like living in a thicket of trees.
Yeah, a real bramble.
A real bramble of sorts, and you can of course see the snake that Morphin has nailed to the front door of the Gaunt residence, which truly just makes it seem so inviting.
I know, it is just like a very creepy looking front door. Why would you nail a snake to it? I guess because the snake didn't listen to Morphin.
I guess so. My little note here is that their wreath is broken.
The wreath is very broken.
And also made of snake.
Yeah. No, I'm not hanging that up at Christmas. You know, it's like, do you want the holly wreath or the snake wreath? And it's like, what was that second one?
Come again. Although hilariously, the holly wreath would be like, you know.
Oh, you're right.
Like
you're right.
Yeah,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Very hairy.
Very hairy. And this is very, you want dead. You is the death tree. And so maybe the door is made of yew wood, you know, it wouldn't even surprise me.
I have an incredibly strong argument that I'll get to later that it is in fact made of yew wood.
Oh, really?
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
That's so funny.
There's a couple of little nods to it, but the last little detail here, just for anybody who maybe eventually purchases, an annual subscription to our Patreon page, and you do, yes, Patreon page, that's the right word. If you do an annual subscription, you get a page from one of our books upon sign up. Obviously, it'll be a minute before we go through and cut the spine off of Half-Blood Prince. But here on the House of Gaunt, I also drew a Ring doorbell.
Oh, a Ring doorbell.
You know,
they see him coming.
They seem like the type.
Yeah.
You know, like
right.
they're kind of like, we're not really into Muggle tech, but if it means people not coming near us, we like that.
Yeah, it's like that's probably better than Morphin hiding in a tree with a Knife. You know.
Yeah, very Cedric Diggory of him.
Exactly what I thought.
If I do say, it's like we know of two Harry Potter characters ever to come out of a tree, and one of them is Morphin Gaunt, and the other is Cedric Diggory. Yeah. Coincidence?
I think not.
I was going to say, actually, in this case, maybe
probably
so.
big coincidence. Yes. I was going to say Voldemort kills both of them, but that's not even true. He kills one and frames the other for murder. And then he gets sent to Azkaban, where he dies, probably of Azkaban. So it's more like it's like a from a far away murder.
It's a far away murder. It's like a really slow acting poison vis-a-vis depression.
Vis-a-vis, depression.
Yeah. Anyway, so all that being said, Jay, would you like to kick off with our rather long first sentence?
It is a very long first sentence. All right, here we go. For the rest of the week's potion lessons, Harry continued to follow the Half-Blood Prince's instructions wherever they deviated from libacious borages, with the result that by their fourth lesson, Slughorn was raving about Harry's abilities, saying that he had rarely taught anyone so talented. And then the dragons arrived.
So in this case, it's like, do you think what's going on is that Harry is the most talented, but then dragons show up and it turns out they're even more talented.
They're getting wind of this Potter kid brewing potions, and they're like, excuse him, what? We all had to bruise a potion.
Why are they French?
Ben, they're French. Okay.
I will not argue.
What other kind of dragon would have the audacity to just show up in the middle of the fourth potions class?
Not a Welsh green, I'll tell you that much.
Not a Welsh green, exactly.
No. They're more like woodland creatures out there, just like splitting logs, for the
Swedish
sake of
short snout. No way.
No, they're sitting in a sauna.
They are. That's right. They are drinking hot coffee in a sauna.
In a sauna.
Yeah.
The only way to do it.
That's exactly right. They're like, we want to be sweating as much as possible.
They're getting their Huga on. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm going to have to look up what kind of dragons come from France and we'll report back to you on why they're so mad about Harry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because whatever kind of dragons these are, they're a dab hand at potion.
They are dab hands.
A dab wing, if I may.
A dab wing at potions. I say.
Yeah. But no, one of the things that I do think is particularly interesting about this is that like Harry is excelling so quickly at potions under Snape's own instruction, so much so that it is possible that Harry is actually excelling beyond Snape's own abilities. So to me, this is like a situation where it's like, the student becomes the master is sort of like the classic trope. Like usually like the student ends up having more raw talent and also benefits from all the experience and instruction of the master. Like I feel like that's how this normally plays out.
Right.
And so it really is frustrating that Harry doesn't get an O in potions in the first place, because he should, obviously this is not how the real world works. You aren't just good at a subject because your parent was, but at least within the wizarding world, I'm going to count it, that like Lily being so good at potions makes you think that Harry could have been really good at potions.
Well, clearly he could have been, because he is Ben.
He is Ben. But the thing is, he's learning from the same person who's been teaching him the whole time anyway.
I know. It's just that person was bullying the whole time, and now he's like giving him his secrets instead.
Exactly. But yeah, this is the thing I don't understand about Snape being the Half-Blood Prince is just if he was that good, then you would think that the instructions that he puts on the blackboard, which is how Snape teaches in the first place, would just include all of the things that the book doesn't include.
Like if you are the potions master and you are trying to teach your students to be the best wizards they can be, and Hogwarts is proclaimed to be the best wizarding school in the world, that would mean that ideally they have the best professors, and being the best professors would mean that you know better than the textbook, which Snape does, and only Hogwarts students should be benefiting from this information.
Exactly. And the thing is that like you might be sitting there thinking, well, guys, how do we know that Snape wasn't including like Half-Blood Prince caliber instructions on the blackboard? And I think the answer is Hermione. Because Hermione reads the textbooks before she gets to school. She knows the answer to everything. And we know that because of Umbridge's class, where like Hermione's like, I've already read the whole book, and she's like, well, and she's like stumped for a second. So it's like Hermione absolutely reads the textbook.
Right.
So if she's got her seemingly brand new or, unmarked up Half-Blood Prince textbook, then as she's reading off the chalkboard, she should see the lack of
differentiation.
Cohesion,
yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, do you see what I mean?
I do see what you mean.
Yeah. So I find this to be, interesting. The only caveat that I would have there, and I'm way too in the weeds for something that just is not important to this particular chapter, which is just oozing with importance, is it not the case that during their first year, their potions book that they are assigned is like 1,000 magical herbs and fungi, and it's like it's actually not a potion instruction book?
I guess that could be the case, and I guess Snape is usually like putting the instructions on the chalkboard rather than having them read it out of the book.
Right.
So like maybe they don't have like a potion book they're reading from.
Is it the case that this is the first time they've ever been given, like, so to speak, a cookbook?
Right.
With ingredients and instruction.
That's weird to think. In that case, I guess Snape could be including this information in his lessons.
Exactly what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly what I mean. Yeah. So anyway, okay. So maybe I've backed myself back into it. It doesn't really matter anyway. I just always find it frustrating how dynamic of a duo Snape and Harry could be under the best of circumstances, and we just lose the opportunity.
Yeah,
completely.
it never really happens at all. What also is crazy to me is that this is all still the first week of school, and they've had potions 4 times.
Yeah, pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've really ramped up the coursework.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. They're like, oh, you taking less courses? Don't worry. We'll take those courses more.
way more often.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. But then again, speaking of Hermione, it says she was resolutely plowing on with what she called the official instructions, but becoming increasingly bad-tempered as they yielded poorer results than the prince's.
Which is crazy to me is that Slughorn doesn't know these tricks, you know?
That is a little bit surprising. Like you kind of have to wonder like where Snape was figuring them out, if not from direct instruction.
Right.
And we know that Slughorn did teach Snape.
Yeah.
Like that is confirmed
that
later
absolutely happened
at his Christmas party.
And it's like he does seem to actually, well, I say he doesn't, but he's not like teaching them if he does. But like before Christmas, Harry is going to brew a potion, or like during some exam, I think it's before Christmas, where he's like, why don't you all just pick something fun and we'll do that. And Harry does his thing and he like adds some peppermint, which the prince suggests, and Slughorn comes by and he's like, oh, and it seems like you've added a sprig of peppermint. Well, that would tend to counteract the whatever.
You're exactly
and it's like,
right. Yeah.
He knows like that peppermint could be a solution to a problem with the potion, but and I guess to be fair, he's not actually teaching that one. It's just literally pick one from the book, but still. It's not like he's offering other instructions, obviously, the rest of the year either.
Right. But I see what you mean. So maybe Slughorn is that good and he's able to like suss it out backwards. It reminds me of Paul Hollywood from the Great British Bake Show. It does,
yeah.
Where it's like he's clearly, you know, like, I mean, he's a good judge, he's a good host of the show or whatever, but he's clearly spent so much time in the kitchen baking that like when somebody makes a mistake, he is able to zero in on exactly what it is.
Right.
Like, you know,
like it was proofing too long, too little, didn't bake long enough or hot enough or whatever.
Exactly. Yep. Anyway, so then we kind of have like Harry starting to really develop his relationship with this copy of Advanced Potion Making, but more specifically the Half-Blood Prince. And it seems like maybe for the first time in Harry's academic career, he is like using every available moment to spend time with one of his textbooks.
Right.
Maybe more like in a Hermione-ish type of way, but ironically in a way that Hermione doesn't totally approve of.
I know, because she's like, no, but that like we don't even know who this person is, and not all of the notes have to do with potion making at all. And I like that it does phrase it here. It says, here and there were directions for what looked like spells the prince had made up himself. So looked like is a bit of a hedge. I think it like gives some leeway for Snape to have not invented them, but have written them down.
Exactly correct. Yeah. And I think the one that we normally come back to is Sectum Sempra almost certainly is a Snape invented spell. I think that one has to kind of go back to it. But one of the interesting things about the spells written in the book, and it kind of led us to a recent video that we made on Super Carlin Brothers that was like, was James the real Half-Blood Prince? And there's a whole backlog information going on there. But one of the spells that James uses on Snape in Snape's source memory is Levi Corpus. And in that year, it's their 5th year because they just finished taking their OWLs. And Advanced Potion Making is a 6th year potion book, which would mean that if Snape writes Levi Corpus, which we know Harry learns it in this book from the prince, that James had already used it in his 5th year.
Right.
So it kind of is like an interesting one where it's like, was that Snape just finally learning the incantation, which I think otherwise is nonverbal?
It's a nonverbal. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like if James had been using it on Snape, then he wouldn't know the incantation.
Right.
Which might mean that in 6th year, it is relevant to write down because he has up till this point been, at the mercy of the spell. He doesn't know how to counteract.
But now he's figured it out.
Yeah.
Yep. Or he invented it and James is just using it on him.
or that.
Yeah. Could be either. Who's to say? Hermione or Harry is trying to figure out who it is, and Hermione's like, or herself. Could be a girl. We don't know. And to which I'm like, Hermione. It's Prince.
Yeah, I know.
Prince.
Yeah, I have like a little. I'm being kind of coy maybe here in my scribbled notes, but the Half-Blood Prince, he was called. Harry said, "How many girls have been princes?" And so I was like, "Hey Harry, since when are you an expert on every prince who's ever lived?"
Exactly.
You don't know. You don't know.
You don't know. And I'm most surprised Hermione, because Hermione's eventual answer to this is, her last name could have been Prince, which is like semi-true.
It is semi-true because it's Eileen Prince.
Eileen Prince.
And that's basically Snape sort of adhering more to his mother's side and wizarding side rather than his father Tobias's muggle side.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, they're both sort of right, but I mean, I think Harry's clearly like this is a guy. Can't you tell?
Right.
Well, you're being mad about this in a weird way.
It does seem like a strange one for her to get so fixated on because it doesn't really matter who they are. Who they are might matter. That part is irrelevant.
Right.
You know, like it does.
I think in the movie, maybe there might be a good line here where she's like, "You just don't think a girl could do like this or whatever." And they're like, "I just said you were the best in the class."
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you can't be serious. I know you're the best.
I know, yeah. Do you know you?
Right. But I also really appreciate Hermione here as well because she has this like, while she's annoyed, she is able to compartmentalize her frustration completely. Because we're going to go in the exact same scene from them kind of having this like little back and forth about the Half-Blood Prince to basically Harry needing to leave for his lesson with Dumbledore. And the moment that the conversation shifts gears from advanced potion making to that, Hermione is like, "Ooh, good luck. We'll wait up and want to hear what he teaches you." And so it's like, it's literally just like, okay, enough of that conversation. This is important.
Right. This is actually important.
We care a lot about what happens next. We'll wait up for you. We'll see. We'll see you when you're done.
So Harry makes his way to Dumbledore's office, during which he runs into Professor Trelawney, who is in the middle of exposing the plot, but she doesn't realize it.
Yes. So she's going through like her. I always interpret it as tarot cards, but I think it's just playing cards.
I think so. Yeah. Or else they're like tarot themed playing cards or something.
Could be that. And this may also be a difference in phrasing from like British vernacular to American, but like we would call it like the jack, like the
for knave,
knave,
yeah.
So just a small difference there. But yeah, so she's going through talking about the 2 of spades conflict, 7 of spades an ill omen, 10 of spades violence, knave of spades a dark young man, possibly troubled one who dislikes the questioner. And
so okay. So first of all, she pulls 4 spades in a row, and then she's like, it's like she stopped dead. And then is like, "Well, that can't be right." And she says, annoyed. But to me, I'm like, this should almost be a bit of a tell that you pulled 4 spades in a row, because I looked up the math and there is a 1 in 379 chance of you just drawing the same suit 4 times in a row.
Right. Yeah.
That's a 0.264 chance. So that's pretty weird.
That's pretty weird.
Plus, you drew them not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but like in a sequential order.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I feel like that's where the divination of it all is actually playing a role, because even if you go back to Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, they talk about selling like standard decks of cards.
Yeah.
And it's like, Muggle stuff for
card tricks. Yeah. Muggle magic tricks, right?
Yeah. Something for freaks like that.
Yeah.
I think is what they say. So maybe this is like more of like a magical version of a deck of cards. But the other thing I kind of caught my interest about this particular scene. One, we've always sort of believed that the Knave of Spades is in reference to Draco.
Yeah, sure.
You could make the argument that it's Harry because he's about to hide from Trelawney in this moment, but I think it's Draco.
I think it's Draco, a dark man, possibly one who dislikes the questioner. The question is whether or not the questioner is Voldemort or Snape.
Sure. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yes. But then what also is kind of interesting about this is that Harry will be going to Dumbledore's office a number of times throughout the course of the book. On 3 different occasions, he will run into Trelawney on his way.
Right.
One of them is going to be in Lord Voldemort's request, where she's actually in Dumbledore's office when he arrives.
Right.
And then in The Seer Overheard is when Harry's on his way to Dumbledore's office to go to the cave and runs into her. And on that occasion, she's also she is flipping through tarot cards that time.
Yep.
And she predicts the lightning struck tower, which is what happens that very night.
Third time pays for all.
That's right. But so it's there you go.
Yeah.
It's amazing the way that these three characters are so interwoven, because like they are so interwoven. Like Trelawney makes the prophecy to Dumbledore about Harry, and those three people are like this constant three player in the quest to like uncover everything to do with the prophecy.
Well, okay, here's a possible then. If the lightning struck tower is predicted by her moments like the night of, is there a chance that what is happening in this particular one, I always think the Knave of Spades is Draco too, but could it be that she's predicting what Harry is about to see in the memory? And she's like, well, that can't be right, because she's seeing the future, but the future is the past. Yeah. Because then you could have conflict is Morphin and Bob Ogden. Ill omen could be the snake on the door.
Yeah.
Violence is like the attack on Merope, and Knave of Spades, a dark young man, which is honestly, that could be Tom Riddle Sr. or Marvolo or Morphin. Well, not Marvolo, because he's not a young man. Possibly troubled, who dislikes the questioner. The questioner could be Bob Ogden, so it's probably Morphin then.
I think that makes as much sense as Draco.
Okay.
I think that fits really well. I think it is open to interpretation. Like
for sure.
It's not so ironclad even within the Draco context. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Especially in the way that a lot of this is going to come together, because at the end of this chapter, Harry is going to have gone through and seen the memory, and he's going to start asking Dumbledore questions. He's going to say, "Sir, is it important to know all this about Voldemort's past?" Very important, I think. And it's got something to do with the prophecy. It has everything to do with the prophecy. Right, said Harry, a little confused, but reassured all the same. So it's like the fact that you're running into the person who makes the prophecy right before going to learn about information highly relevant to the prophecy feels like no mistake.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're right too, especially because it's like the prophecy was made to Dumbledore, and Harry overhears her saying this on his way to talk to Dumbledore, where they're going to learn about Voldemort, the other member of the prophecy.
Right.
So like all four people involved will be in play in this chapter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's also interesting that Harry's overhearing this very small prophecy, because in that way it actually makes him sort of similar to Snape.
You're right.
Who overhears the original prophecy.
Oh, you're right. That's so funny. Oh man, that is very clever.
This chapter is like a dang onion.
Oh my gosh, I know. Here I'm talking myself into like it has nothing to do with Draco, you know?
I know, right?
It's definitely Morphin.
We're like rewriting our own lore knowledge of the entire series.
This is why you listen to the show.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then she's like, "Oh, well, that can't be right." And I said, "Oh, but it can." But I didn't even mean what now I think it means.
What a remarkable thing.
All right. Anyway, Harry gets past that and reaches the gargoyle, says acid pops, which he knows is the password from the note in the last chapter. And the gargoyle steps aside.
That's right. Just a small note there, too, is that it's on the 7th floor. That's where Dumbledore's office is located, along with the Gryffindor common room and the room of requirement.
Really important floor.
Yeah. Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought?
The 7th floor.
The 7th floor. And this is also another reason you think that Godric Gryffindor, the headmaster's office, used to be Godric Gryffindor's office, because it's on the same hall as the Gryffindor common room.
Exactly correct. Yeah. Yep. And I think that part makes perfect sense to me.
And because it has a Griffin door knocker.
Which is kind of the namesake of this very podcast.
Yes, it is. Harry's about to interact with the door knocker. The best.
1 of 4 times.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see.
Oh, actually, it does mention, it says, so that he was carried in the smooth circles up to the door with the brass knocker. That's it.
That's the one.
He's at the Griffin door.
Yeah. This is just a small observation, and I was trying to figure out how to like backtrack through it. So it's almost a question I would like to lob out to the folks at home in case anybody has ever paid more attention than me. Harry knocked, and it says, "Come in," said Dumbledore's voice. In my head, the headmaster always greets the person arriving with the phrase or with the single word enter. And I don't know if that really matters, if anything's different, if it's a scheduled appointment in this particular case, because I do think he says enter on other occasions when Harry's arriving unexpectedly.
Right.
So I think that there could be those. Armando Dippet also says enter when Tom Riddle arrives to ask about the school being closed in the diary memory. So
I wonder if that's like the command for the door on the other side.
it's kind of what I mean. Yeah. Like, if there is sort of like a, or even like a headmaster etiquette as to like what you're supposed to say when and everything.
Right.
It could not matter at all. It stood out to me because in my head it's enter.
Yeah.
And in this case it's not. So
It's not, yeah, but he's expecting him this time.
That's right. That's right. So Harry comes in. They kind of have this cute little back and forth about Harry having a busy first week because he's already got a detention under his belt, but Dumbledore doesn't look too stern about it.
This is how you know that it was 4 potions lessons in 1 week too.
That's also correct. Yes, because it's the first Saturday when he has the first
Yes.
lesson with Dumbledore.
Yes. Also, you get a little bit of I'm not really sure what to say, like slap in the face. Not really. It is Harry is re-entering the office since the first time he's re-entering it, having trashed it last time he was there.
Yes.
And last time Dumbledore was all like, go ahead, trash my possessions. I dare say I have too many of them. Don't mind that they're all perfectly repaired and it didn't matter anyway now.
That's right. Yeah, because the circular office looked just as it always did. The delicate silver instruments stood on the spindle leg tables, puffing smoke and whirring. Nothing, no damage has been done.
No worse for wear. Yeah. What an empty offer Dumbledore was giving Harry. Like, go ahead, rage room around, man. Do it. You want a hammer? I'll give it to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we got to remember that Dumbledore at this moment is the master of the Elder Wand, and the Elder Wand is uniquely capable of repairing other wands, something that nothing else can possibly do. So, it could just be the case that he can literally repair anything.
That's true. It's just like, you know what? Typically, it would have been unrepairable, even by Reparo. But I got the Elder Wand.
But I'm me.
But I'm kind of a big deal.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah. So then you kind of get that, like, it did not look as though Dumbledore had cleared a space for dueling practice. So
It did not even look.
Yeah.
It did not even look as though Dumbledore cleared a space for dueling practice. To which I'm like, Harry, what would that take him? Like 1 second? You just watched him clean up an entire room that Slughorn had apparently trashed.
Right.
Like, hadn't cleared a space yet. Like, I guess we're not dueling. You have no idea.
You have no idea. But also you're not dueling.
But you're not. Yeah.
Yeah. And so sure enough, Dumbledore right away is like, you've been wondering, I'm sure, what I have planned for you during these, for want of a better word, lessons.
Yes, sir.
And then he kind of has this like moment where you're like, oh gosh, Harry's about to rage again, because he's like, it is time now that you know what prompted Lord Voldemort to try and kill you 15 years ago. And Harry's like, yeah, but you said last year you were going to tell me everything.
Yeah.
And
I know.
Sir.
Oh, and so I did. I too drew everything I know. From this point forth, we shall be leaving the firm foundation of fact and journeying together to the murky marshes of memory into thickets of wildest guesswork, Harry. To which I'm like, wow, that is a convenient little loophole you wrote for yourself there, Dumbledore.
That's right. That's right.
If I'm Harry, I'm like, not good enough. Not good enough.
I see what you've done. I see what you've done. You must have called Arthur and figured out the little loophole about the flying Fort Anglia.
Yeah.
But also, so he says the murky marshes of memory, which I also feel like maybe we can't call as foreshadowing, but it does end up coming later where we have a memory that is murky.
Yes, true.
Or sluggish.
A sluggish memory.
So
for want of a better word.
That's right, yes. And then he's also going to say into the thickets of wildest guesswork, and the house around the Gaunt is a thicket. Is a thicket. Yep, indeed. And then little random piece of trivia here that I am... Excuse me, that's going to be ironic in just a second. Yeah. That I would never get correct if you asked us while we were out on tour or in a Jay versus Ben. But who is the person who believed time was ripe for a cheese cauldron?
Humphrey Belcher.
Humphrey Belcher.
Of course.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, I may be as woefully wrong as Humphrey Belcher, who believed the time was ripe for a cheese cauldron.
The usage of the word ripe there is just a little too...
The time was ripe.
It's a little too fresh for me.
A little too fresh. You know, when cheese is like a little too ripe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing about cheese. You'd never be like, how's the cheese? Ripe. But
Right.
if it was like really smelly, you'd be like, it's a little ripe.
it's a bit ripe.
Ripe. Yep.
It's got a little kick to it.
Yeah. When you describe cheese as ripe, it's not the same as describing fruit as ripe.
That's
you know?
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
ripe.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Harry asks, but you think you're right? Naturally, I do. But as I've already proven to you, I make mistakes like the next man. And then he kind of has this like heavy burden of truth about the situation. But he says, in fact, forgive me, being rather cleverer than most men, my mistakes tend to be correspondingly huger.
Huger seems like the wrong word.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. You can't just say huger.
You can't just say huger, man. Yeah. But of course he's correct anyway. But the mistake he's talking about is not telling Harry everything sooner, I think.
Yeah, right. Yep. And then Harry's going to say, Sarah, does what you're going to tell me have anything to do with the prophecy? Will it help me survive?
It will.
To which I wrote in, because if I'm honest, that part is important to me.
If I'm, I'm honest. Yeah. It's a great, very great deal to do with the prophecy. And I certainly hope that it will help you survive. And I was like, okay. I feel like you could just be like a little bit more forthcoming though.
Right.
You know?
And then Dumbledore gave him finger guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not literally, because like survival, yeah.
Yeah, like you're going to give me finger guns, like I can shoot spells out of my fingers? That'd be amazing.
That would be cool. That can that be done?
Can it be done?
I want to know.
Yeah, because it feels like you were about to take a trip into that like bowl of like slop over there. And I think it's me, but I feel like finger guns would be really good against Voldemort. That feels like a good weapon.
And if there could be like a little smoke that comes out of it, so I could kind of like fire one around the corner and like
Yeah.
That'd be ripe.
That would be ripe with usefulness, Dumbledore.
But sure enough, Dumbledore does pull out the pensive and looks to Harry and says, "You look worried," which of course is the case because the last time Harry went into the pensive, he saw Snape's worst memory and it sucked.
Yeah. He says, "You look worried." It's like, well, it's just that, it's like the Dark Lord's trying to murder me, you see. I'm kind of always in this state, Dumbledore. I'm at like a baseline 9 every day.
My stress level has not gone down.
Not gone down.
At all.
Yeah.
I'm going to die and don't know when.
Don't know when.
Nor am I sure if I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then Dumbledore is going to be like, well, this time you enter the pensive with me, and even more unusually, with permission.
That is funny because the other 2 times Harry has been in the pensive. Once is when Dumbledore left him alone in the room, and the other time was when Snape left him alone in the room.
That's right. Yeah.
Neither time has Harry been in the pensive with permission, although Dumbledore joins him the first time he goes in, which kind of like is like retroactive permission. He doesn't like yank him out. He's just like, oh, Harry's in here. That's all right. That's fine. I'll just go watch what he's watching.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess also we say the last time was Snape's first memory, but also I think the last time was actually not in it, but Dumbledore drops in the memory of Trelawney's prediction, or am I making that up?
Does he drop? He drops it in, but he doesn't go inside of it.
He doesn't. That's what I mean.
Like Sybil just like rises out of it.
Right. Okay. So it's got different functions. It's like an iPad.
Exactly. iPensive
Coming to a Apple store near you.
Right.
Probably not.
Just drop your memories in. We're not tracking them. Don't worry.
No, we are.
We, the Ministry of Magic, are tracking all of your memory thoughts.
Yeah. Okay. So then we discover though that we're going down the memory of Bob Ogden, and Bob Ogden is kind of just like an interesting character as far as the Ogden family is concerned, because there's Bob Ogden, Ogden's famous fire whiskey, and also Tiberius Ogden, who is one of the 2 people who resigns at a protest when Dumbledore is removed from the Wizengamot.
I wonder if that's how Dumbledore had access to this Bob Ogden. Through Tiberius, because they're like old pals.
Could be, yes. And it is also kind of additionally interesting because he's going to say, Harry's going to ask who's Bob Ogden, and Dumbledore's going to explain he was employed by the Department of Magical Law Enforcement, said Dumbledore. He died some time ago, but not before I tracked him down and persuaded him to confide these recollections to me.
So that means he has been on the hunt for like a while.
That is the question to me, is like, how long could Dumbledore have been seeking out memories with the knowledge that they could be relevant?
Well, because he says he died some time ago, which sounds like more than a year.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, when Harry asks him at the end of the chapter about when he acquired the ring, he says that it was very recently.
Yeah.
So, and that was like weeks ago at this point in time, month ago.
Yeah.
So it feels like it would have to have been like a year plus.
Right. I agree. I agree.
So, but we know Dumbledore does take leave from the school frequently.
That's true.
But maybe just hadn't zeroed fully in on hunting for Horcruxes yet, because the ring is the first one he finds.
It is. I mean, it wouldn't be beyond me to think that he might not even be hunting for Horcruxes. He might have just been hunting for like information about Voldemort at all. Because I mean, there's I wrote it down here because I feel like this is a very relevant quote for this chapter and for this whole book. But there is a quote from The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Wow. Okay.
Are you ready? Are
you
ready?
Bring it on.
It says, if you know yourself and you know your enemy, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. So... Wow. There you go. The Art of War. Understand thy enemy.
Have you read The Art of War?
I have not, but I'm familiar with this particular quote.
I like it.
It is. I like it. And I think it's extremely applicable to Harry Potter. At least the first two parts there, if you know yourself and you know your enemy, that is what Dumbledore is trying to do with Voldemort.
Yep.
Or it's certainly why Harry is able to defeat Voldemort, because he, especially like marching into the forest, like feels like he totally knows himself, totally accepts his fate and his purpose in the world. And, you know, he, like, even when Ron's talking, he's like, you really understand him, don't you? And he's like, lots of him. And it's like, yeah, more than that, Harry. More than that. On the other hand, the second one is the second part of it. If you know yourself, but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. That is so Voldemort. In every way.
Absolutely.
He knows himself wonderfully. He does not understand Harry. He thinks he understands Harry. He even openly talks about how he understands Harry, but he does not. He cannot understand love at all in any capacity. And every time he has a victory, he suffers a defeat. He resurrects his body, but also makes Harry immortal.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, he kills Harry in the forest, but actually only destroys his Horcrux.
Right. Yeah. Yes. And I mean, it's exactly what Dumbledore says in King's Cross too. You know, it's of house elves and children's tales. These things Voldemort knows not.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So no, that's really good. I love that. Yeah. And so it is really important because not only is it about the ring, which we're about to discover is already in the room with them, but it's laying the groundwork for what is important, what types of things stand out, and really giving Harry the roadmap for success as he trudges forward.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got all that going for us. So then they crack open the memory, fall inside of the pensive. You kind of have like the usual description of feet leaving the floor, falling into whirling darkness, that type of thing. We land on the country lane, where we can discover that we are 5 miles from, what is it? Greater Hangleton, and just a single mile from Little Hangleton.
Mm-hmm,
yep.
Mm-hmm. And we land next to Bob Ogden, who is dressed like a wizard, trying to look like a muggle. In this case, a frock coat and spats over a striped one-piece bathing costume. So spats, if you don't know, are those things that horseback riders ride over their boots to keep the dust from getting on their boots.
Yeah. There.
Duh.
So this is
spatterdashes is what it's short for.
Is it really?
It is.
I love spatterdash.
Spatterdash is a great word.
Yeah, I might have to adopt some spatterdashes myself.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
I know. I'm looking rather spatterdashing, am I not?
Spatterdashing, like you're protecting yourself from road dirt.
Of course.
Exactly.
That's very good. But no, this is the kind of thing that I don't know how I would want them to depict it rather, in, you know, like a series. We actually got to witness this because in the film we don't see the scene at all, which is a tragedy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, here we are talking about like the importance of this chapter, not even in the movie.
Right. But this is like, this has got to be like early 20s, I believe, right? Like maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. When they're traveling back to, because Fantastic Beasts is 1926.
Yes. Correct.
And that's the year Voldemort is born.
Correct.
So this is at like probably between 1920 and 1925.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and I think we maybe even zero in on 24 or 25 pretty easily.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, because they get taken away, and then once they're gone, that's when Merope can do the love potion.
She acts pretty quickly.
She does.
Also, I know that there's two pronunciations, Merope or Merope. Merope just makes more sense to me. I think Merope is how you're supposed to say it.
Yeah, even Harry, I think there's almost a joke in here where Harry's like Merope or whatever her name was. And it's like, see, even Harry doesn't know how to say this name.
I know. Just in case we got anybody's hackles going up as we go forward.
We should just decide which one we're gonna do.
I like Merope. That's how I read it when I was younger.
Merope,
and it's and like I've never had a film correct me, as I just mentioned.
Yeah.
So
just now you've said it.
No, I know. I just wanted the disclaimer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Merope is what we're gonna say.
Yes.
We understand that some of you disagree.
And we're sorry. Okay. So Harry could see a village, undoubtedly Little Hangleton, nestled between two steep hills, its church and graveyard clearly visible.
Hey, he's been there.
That's exactly right. A familiar graveyard that is the one that he goes to in Goblet of Fire.
I know. Does he recognize it?
I wish it said that something about it seemed familiar.
I know. I agree. I wish it said that too. I mean, he was interacting a lot with the Riddle graves when he was there. Which aren't there yet. So
true.
Yeah.
True.
Maybe that looks different. And I'm sure the manor house looks stupendous at this point in time.
Absolutely. Because it would still be occupied and maintained. Yeah. So a handsome manor house surrounded by a wide expanse of velvety green lawn.
But Frank's not there yet, right? Probably not.
Frank
Bryce, because no, he comes after the war, right?
It's been a hard war for Frank.
No, but they think he did it. They think he killed the Riddles.
Yes.
But
the Riddles don't die for another 20 years.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's not there yet.
He's not there yet.
No. Okay.
Yeah. He must have been coming out of World War II.
Yeah. Okay.
Is I think. Because it's interesting. The only reason I bring it up is because in Fantastic Beasts, World War I, or just the World War, the Great War, what do they call it then? Doesn't matter. Is what like Jacob Kowalski was in. He's like, of course I was in the war. Everybody was in the war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not another war.
Yeah.
Let's see. They're walking down the road. The lane curved to the right. And when they rounded the corner, it was to see the very edge of Ogden's frock coat vanishing through a gap in the hedge. How do you even know where this place was?
It is kind of odd. It also feels like Ogden is like behaving like with haste a little bit. I mean, I guess he is like the head of the magical law enforcement squad, so maybe this is like sort of Aurorish behavior or something.
Sure.
But like, he's effectively making a house call.
Yeah.
I don't know why it makes it seem like he vanished through a gap in the hedge.
Right.
Like, it's like you don't vanish through gaps in hedges.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Reminds me of the Homer Simpson like gif when he just like fades into the back of it.
No one saw that.
Exactly.
Then we're coming up on the Gaunt house. Despite the cloudless sky, the old trees ahead cast deep, dark, cool shadows, and it was a few seconds before Harry's eyes discerned the building half hidden amongst the tangle of trunks. It seemed to him a very strange location to choose for a house, or else an odd decision to leave the trees growing nearby, blocking all light and the view of the valley below. So it is literally a dark place.
It's literally a dark place, and this is what I wanted to come back to about the U-shaped door or the U-wood door. I don't know if the wood itself on the door is yew wood, but the trees flanking it, I believe, very well might be. Because in England, there is a place called St. Edward's Church in Stow-on-the-Wold.
Oh,
which is like
Mold on the Wold.
Mold on the Wold is where Dumbledore is born. That is like where they leave from to go to Godric's Hollow. But at the Church of St. Edward's, the door is famously enclosed by 2 yew trees. And I feel like there's a lot of connective tissue going on there. Also, in the graveyard of Little Hangleton are yew trees.
That's true.
As mentioned in the Goblet of Fire when he's in there. And Voldemort's wand is made of yew wood.
Right.
So those are the stars that are aligning the constellation in my mind.
It's funny to bring up constellations, but we'll get to that in a minute.
I think I know what you're going to talk about, but I also agree. Let's see here. So just as Harry had concluded that nobody could possibly live here, one of the windows was thrown open with a clatter and a thin trickle of...
Like Santa?
There arose quite a clatter.
There arose such a clatter. It's not like Santa at all.
It's really not.
Really about as opposite as we're going to get.
Yeah. Thin trickle of steam or smoke issued from it as though somebody was cooking.
As though they were cooking.
Could be anything.
Could be anything.
Could be making love potion.
Yeah. Gross. Yeah.
I don't actually think so. But but
Ogden,
anyway.
Ogden moved forward quietly, and it seemed to Harry rather cautiously. As the dark shadows of the trees slid over him, he stopped again, staring at the front doors, to which somebody had nailed a dead snake. An ill omen, you might say.
I think we found that one.
We found that one.
Yeah. Then there was a rustle and a crack. A man in rags dropped from the nearest tree, landing on his feet right in front of Ogden, who leapt backwards so fast he stood on the tails of his frock coat and stumbled. What Jay just said, I'll translate for you in case you don't understand Parseltongue, says, "You're not welcome."
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Yeah, I thought so.
Some people got it. But
yeah. Some people got it. His eyes were small and dark and stared in opposite directions. He might have looked comical, but he did not.
But he did not.
I don't know what it is about that sentence, but I like it from like just a pure writing standpoint.
Right.
Like it's like to tell you, it's like it could have been funny, but it wasn't.
Right.
Like there's something about that I just find like delightful because it almost is like the uncanny valley thing. Like I forget, was it like Winnie the Pooh that just recently went into the public domain and so they made like a creepy version of it? It's like that. It's like it should have been funny, but it's not.
Yeah.
You know,
it reminds me a lot of one of my favorite sentences in any books ever, which is the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, when the ships show up to destroy the Earth at the beginning.
Okay.
And they're like these big, like block shaped ships or whatever. And it describes them as hanging in the air exactly the way bricks don't. And I'm like, it is just one of the best descriptions of anything ever.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
That could be your first tattoo.
Yeah. Right.
Like, what does that mean? Like, it's my
if
favorite.
you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So right away, Ogden, who this is an interesting one too, to try to like imagine, because he's the head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement, which basically means he's like the police chief, right?
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
Is that fair to say?
That was fine. Sorry, that inhalation was my leg cramping.
Oh, hey,
But
nice.
it's good now.
We're past it.
Yeah.
The Jim Dale audiobook definitely delivers Ogden as kind of this like squeaky little like.
He's a little fudge-like.
He's a little fudge-like.
Yeah.
Kind of like bumbling.
I don't think he is very bumbling.
Reading it with no other cues, I was like, I don't think I agree with the depiction we've been given.
Yeah.
Good morning. I'm from the Ministry of Magic. You're not welcome. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't understand you, said Ogden nervously. Harry thought Ogden was being extremely dim. But of course, what really is happening here is that everyone so far has been speaking in Parseltongue. But sure enough, Harry understands him because Harry understands Parseltongue. And Harry's like, yeah, of course I understand him. Why can't Ogden?
Yeah.
And then he's like,
right.
He's speaking Parseltongue. And Dumbledore's like, very good, very good. Dumbledore's so proud of him this whole chapter.
I know. He's just like, you got it. Yay. I didn't have to tell you almost anything.
Right. Yes. My boy, you got it. Yes. And right away, Morphin is going to attack Ogden, shooting him in the face with some type of hex that causes a yellowish goo to squirt between his fingers.
Ugh, gross.
Sorry I said it out loud, people.
Morphin. So out comes Marvolo now, his father, comes up the door, hurrying out of the cottage, banging the door behind him so that the dead snake swung pathetically.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because we will not get the name of this elderly gentleman throughout this entire exchange.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's kind of disguising the Marvolo, which there are occasions where I believe in the Harry Potter series they can disguise a name because you don't remember it later on. Marvolo is so specific to the anagram in Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
And it's also, I don't think, a name otherwise that you might spot it.
Yeah. You would know Marvolo immediately.
Right.
The Parseltongue is also a bit of a giveaway. And then when Tom Riddle shows up, that's also, that should be a real big giveaway.
Yeah. The pieces of the puzzle clicking together pretty fast. But
plus, if you remember the first chapter of Goblet of Fire, you can remember Little Hangleton as well.
Also true.
Yeah.
Also true. But yeah, so you get the description of Marvolo, which basically describes him as having short, scrubby hair hair, wrinkled face, which gave him the look of a powerful, aged monkey.
Yes, and it's an interesting description because Salazar Slytherin himself is often described to look like a monkey.
Yeah, that's from Chamber, right?
Yeah.
Where we see like the statues of him carved in the basement.
Yeah.
In the basement, in the Chamber of Secrets.
Which makes sense because, of course, Marvolo here is a direct descendant of Salazar Slytherin, so many generations later.
That's a great catch because I was trying to figure out why it was monkey, and
that's why.
You're absolutely right. So yeah, glad that you caught that because I missed it. So ministry, is it? Correct, said Ogden angrily, dabbing his face. And you, I take it, are Mr. Gaunt. That's right. Got you in the face, did he?
Yes, he did.
Should have made your presence known, shouldn't you?
Just immediately gaslighting.
Exactly.
Just like no repercussions for Morphin at all. And he's like, it's about what I expect.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my
Can't
gosh.
just walk around here and not expect my son to defend himself.
Oh my God. They should so get Brett Goldstein to play Marvolo Gaunt.
Oh,
that would be such good casting.
It would be. Yeah. I love Ogden's response. So defend himself against what?
I know. Against what? I was standing here.
Yeah. Busybodies. Busybodies.
Yeah.
What a strange thing to be like, yeah, we defend ourselves against busybodies.
Right. Yeah. Muggles and filth.
Right. Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ogden put it his watered his nose, which is still issuing large amounts of what looked like yellow pus. Interesting that his nose has a yellow liquid besides like mucus.
Bogies.
Bogies.
But then we're going to kind of have this like subverted kind of communication using parcel tongue between Morphin and Marvolo throughout the chapter or throughout the scene that I think is kind of like interesting because the tone towards Morphin in like plain English is kind of different from the commands that are going to come out in parcel tongue. So now Marvolo is going to say to Morphin, get in the house, don't argue, in parcel tongue.
Right.
But like he's specifically kind of giving this like command in a way that won't allow Ogden to know what he's saying.
Yeah.
You know, like, which is kind of interesting. And so it's kind of, we have to suss it out as we go. Cause I was trying to like, I feel like I need to talk about it. And so then Ogden's going to say, it's your son I'm here to see, Mr. Gaunt, after Morphin has gone inside the house. That was Morphin, wasn't it? And Marvolo's going to be like, that was Morphin. Are you pure blood?
Yeah.
Yes. Suddenly aggressive.
Yeah.
Suddenly aggressive. I'm pretty sure he's been aggressive.
Yeah.
The whole
What
time.
do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
We also get, as Morphin goes in, it says that the slamming the front door behind him said that the snake swung sadly again. Like, we keep getting a weird adjective to describe the swinging of the snake.
Yeah.
It's like, it swung pathetically. It swung sadly again.
This poor.
I know. Like, in what way could the snake be like, oh, he opened the door and the snake swung quite pleasantly? You know?
When was the last time a snake,
A dead snake
nailed
swung?
to the door, swang with anything other than apathy?
I don't know, Ben, but not in this chapter. Okay, they didn't get that far.
We did not get there. We did not
No.
get there. Okay. Yeah. And so you know, he's taking a hard look at Ogden's face. Like, now I come to think about it, I've seen noses like yours down in the village.
What on earth does that mean? Is he accusing him of Muggle heritage here, I guess?
I mean,
Inaccurately.
inaccurately, you're right. Yes, but maybe. But sure enough, because Morphin just attacked his nose, Ogden's like,
that's what he means. That Morphin has attacked other people in this way.
But I mean, like, it's a weird thing for Morphin to be like, or not Morphin, for Marvolo to be like, yeah, now that I come to think of it, I've seen a bunch of other people that look like you because my son attacked them too.
Right.
What do you hear about anyway?
Yeah, I know.
My son didn't attack anyone. You have no proof.
Exactly. I'm sure that's what his opinion would be.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was like, perhaps we could continue this discussion inside. Inside? Yes.
Yeah. I've already told you. I'm here about Morphin. We sent an owl. No, I've got no use for owls, said Gaunt. I don't open letters.
And he's like, well, then why are you complaining that you didn't get warning of visitors? You can't not open letters and attack the visitors who sent letters, okay? You can't have your dead snake and swing it too, all right?
That being said, Morphin almost does, because when we walk inside, he is sitting there with a live adder twisting between his thick fingers and crooning softly in parcel tongue, which, by the way, an adder is a European viper, in case you're unfamiliar with that particular brand of snake.
There you go. Awesome. Yeah. Hissy, hissy, little snaky, slither on the floor. You be good to Morphin or he'll nail you to the door. Which I'm like, 1, sick poem. 2, what do you mean by you be good to Morphin? What did the other snake do to not be good to Morphin?
It literally gives me the willies.
I know.
Like, I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like this. It's like, yeah, Morphin, I don't know. You got a weird thing going on.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's
for
true.
you.
Yeah. It might have been funny, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
It wasn't funny at all. Then there was a scuffling noise in the corner beside the open window. Harry realized that there was somebody else in the room, a girl whose ragged gray dress was the exact color of the dirty stone wall behind her.
Oh, Voldemort.
Voldemort, indeed. Harry thought that he had never seen a more defeated-looking person.
It's like he doesn't remember Cedric, you know?
He was pretty defeated. Oh man!
I hope I got one spit take out of that.
Someone just groaned audibly, like, or buried their hand in their face. They're like, guys, oh, it's so funny. Madonna Merope, said Gaunt grudgingly.
It's
like, you didn't have to introduce her.
I didn't know it. Oh yeah.
But yeah, then Ogden looked inquiringly toward her. Good morning, said Ogden. And I'm like, man, this guy is maintaining pleasantries through thick and thin.
He is like, this is going to go okay. Even though I've already been blasted in the face with a hex.
Right. Yes. Yeah. It's like you're hanging on to it, man. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah. So she turns around, continues shifting pots on the shelf behind her. Well, Mr. Gaunt, to get straight to the point, we have reason to believe that your son, Morphin, performed magic in front of a muggle late last night.
Bam. And then there was a deafening clang. Merope had dropped one of the pots. This is going to be because the muggle in question is actually Tom Riddle.
Yeah.
And yeah, she knows that that's who it was.
Right. So basically, she is going to have witnessed the exact scene that ends up playing out. But it's surprising to me that she is so specifically startled by the news. Like because... Is she startled that Morphin got caught? Because I don't really think she would care about Morphin.
I don't think she cares about Morphin. I think she is afraid that she is going to be punished by her father for having been staring at Tom Riddle, which is the reason Morphin attacked him.
It's a lot to put together in a moment.
It is, but it is exactly what happens too.
I guess that's fair. Yeah. So then right away, Gaunt's gonna be like, pick it up. That's it. Grub on the floor like some filthy muggle. What's your wand for, you useless sack of muck?
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's just like, and then Ogden is just like, dude,
he's like, you can't talk to your daughter like that.
You can talk to anyone like that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude, Marvolo sucks.
He does suck.
Yeah.
And the thing that I also find kind of unusual about this, because she's gonna break a pot and Ogden's gonna fix it, but it's gonna say that Morphin let out a mad cackle of laughter. Gaunt screamed, "Mend it, you pointless lump! Mend it!" And it's like, I don't know, why are they so odd to her? Why are they so rude to her in particular? They're all part of the same family. She's wearing the Slytherin locket. But he's going to continuously call her a squib, but then also be like, well, what's your wand for? And it's
right. She's obviously not a squib. Even when she raises her wand here, I think, and doesn't shoot across the room when she does that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she muttered a hasty, inaudible spell that caused the pot to shoot across the floor away from her, hit the opposite wall, and crack in two.
Yeah, so obviously she's not a squib because some magic came out there.
Right, yes.
Even though it says she's muttered a spell there, she is not actually going to say out loud any words in this chapter.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah. So, I mean, this was me going real tinfoil hat here for a second. And I still feel like there's a possibility that this is true because it would just fit with everything else. But if Merope is somehow half-blood or something, I mean, you kind of have some of those like elements that match Morphin, which make them just seem like whole siblings. But I just don't know like what's going on there.
I mean,
like,
it could just be simply like sexism, you know?
It could just be sexism.
Yeah.
You're right. Like, I mean, these are not exactly the most...
yeah, we can't put that past Morphin or sorry, Marvolo.
Right, yes. Yeah. That we're not talking about the most evolved people, I suppose.
Right, yeah.
Y'all, we got to take a brief pause right there to let you know that today's episode is brought to you by ZocDoc. And story time. About a year ago, my psychiatrist stopped accepting my insurance. I'd been seeing this doctor for a while, so I kept going because honestly, I knew what to expect. And we stay so busy that searching out a new provider just felt like, honestly, exhausting. But the result was paying around $200 for these really quick in and out appointments, and it goes without saying that it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. So I tried ZocDoc, and it made finding a new doctor who fit my needs way easier than I expected. ZocDoc lets you search and compare local in-network doctors, and I could actually look at my options, read reviews, and see available appointments and choose the doctor that made the most sense for me. And for me, the thing that I love is that appointments happen fast. I had called multiple providers and had to be put on wait lists, but ZocDoc can usually lock you in within 24 to 72 hours or even same-day appointments. And to top all the rest of it off, ZocDoc is free to use. Your health matters, and taking care of yourself shouldn't be complicated. Find and book the right doctor with ZocDoc. Head to ZocDoc.com/Griffin to get started and check that appointment off your to-do list. That's ZocDoc.com/Griffin. But yeah, so then he's going to be talking to Merope again. He's going to say, lucky the nice man for the ministry's here, isn't it? Perhaps he'll take you off my hands. Perhaps he doesn't mind dirty squibs. Yeah.
I do not like him.
Good take, Jay.
Don't like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, who's really more to blame in this situation? I don't know. Marvolo is such a bad dad.
He is.
Mr. Gaunt, Ogden began again. As I've said, the reason for my visit, I heard you the first time. And so what? Morphin gave a muggle bit wolves coming to him. What about it then?
Yeah. Morphin has broken wizarding law.
Yeah. He taught a filthy muggle a lesson. That's illegal now, is it? It always was.
Yes,
Yes,
said Ogden. I'm afraid it is.
I'm afraid it is.
What's that then? His sentence? It's a summon to the ministry for a hearing.
Yeah.
Summons. Who do you think you are summoning my son anywhere?
Right.
I'm head of the magical law enforcement squad.
Yeah. Like, who do you? I already said that, man.
So there's that.
Yeah. And you think we're scum, do you? And it's like, okay, 1, I didn't say that. 2, yes.
3, I think you're projecting a little bit.
Yeah.
I think you're projecting. I think maybe you think you're scum.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Are you projecting? Let's talk about that. How did that make you feel? Scum who'll come run to the ministry, tell him to. Do you know who you're talking to, filthy little mudblood, do you? It's like...
I was under the impression I was speaking to Mr. Gaunt.
Yeah.
Ogden looking wary.
He's like, oh boy, this guy is one of them.
Right,
Yeah.
yes. That's right. Then Harry thought that Gaunt was making an obscene hand gesture, but realized that he was showing Ogden the ugly black stoned ring that he was wearing on his middle finger.
So he is doing both.
He's doing both.
Yeah.
Why not both? Why not both?
You know, the longest time I thought like Harry was like, oh, he's giving him the finger. Nope, that's his ring finger because he's getting never mind. Easy mistake. But it is in fact his middle finger.
His middle finger. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So it's both.
Yep.
Centuries has been in our family. That's how far back we go. In pure blood all the way. Know how much I've been offered for this with the Peveril coat of arms engraved on the stone.
The Peverils, dun dun dun, and so the Deathly Hallows have been introduced.
They have.
I mean,
indeed.
the invisibility cloak's been in place since book 1, but you know what I mean.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree. This was the thing that I think be interesting if somehow Merope is just like, okay, imagine a world where she is just a muggle, and that's why they're so mean to her. Not a muggle, but like a muggle-born witch.
Okay.
And somehow she has come to live in this household. The thing that would be interesting about it is that then Voldemort would have come, like, he's not even like, I mean, he technically would still be a half-blood, but he would have like more muggle heritage than anything else.
Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, she's so similar to Morphin, like, it seems like she's also the product of like inbreeding.
The inbreeding. I know what you mean. It reminds me a little bit of like a lot of like the kind of,
And also she has the parcel mouth. Like Voldemort can speak parcel mouth.
True.
So she
Okay.
has to have some Gaunt blood in her.
She has to have Gaunt blood.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just loving is Voldemort Muggle-born?
I mean, yeah, that'd be so funny.
Like, whoa.
Whoa.
That's crazy. It'd be so nice. Okay. Yes. So the Pepperell coat of arms engraved on the stone, and Ogden's really like, I have really no idea. Like,
Yeah,
it's quite beside the point, Mr. Gaunt.
It doesn't matter how much you've been offered to that ring. Your son is in trouble for attacking a Muggle. So,
Right.
what's one got to do with the other? And he's like, literally everything. This means that I'm wizard royalty and can do whatever I want whenever I want. Okay.
You see this house? You see it?
You see it?
I'm standing in it and still barely.
Right. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yep.
Yep. And then he's gonna pull Merope over and say, "See this? I see it. I see it."
Yeah.
Said Ogden Hastily, and this is gonna be the lock. And of course, Slytherins, Salazar Slytherins. Where's last living descendants? What do you say to that, eh?
Okay. This I think is also interesting, and I'm sure we've talked about it in the past. It is a heavy gold locket.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's interesting that it's gold because like Slytherin's colors are silver and green
Yeah.
and not gold.
Not gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you think maybe this is like a little like friendship bracelet from old
Oh,
Godric?
from Godric, like he has the matching one.
He's got like a matching
They've
one
got
with
like
the G.
matching friendship
Yeah.
lockets.
Yeah.
I so hope that's true.
Wouldn't it be awesome
Godric
if it
gave them
was?
to him, and he's like, Slytherin, look what I got, got one for everyone. All four of us here.
Yours says S for Slytherin. Mine says G for Gryffindor.
Get it? Get it? Oh, it's so good. It's so good. We can wear them. I'm like, I'm not wearing this.
You're gonna wear
You're going to
it.
wear it? I've signed up to do a portrait. We're going to be great.
a portrait.
I am not posing for a portrait.
No, you're gonna love it.
Come on, we'll make a statue afterwards. It'll be great. Big statue.
Oh, monkey face.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably what Godric called him.
Probably, yeah.
It's like a pet name.
It's like a pet name. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because of that one time with the monkeys.
Yeah, right?
Right.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. Godric and Salazar. Oh, so, said Gaunt triumphantly, as though he had just proved a complicated point beyond all possible dispute. Don't you go talking to us about what dirt on your shoes. Generations of pure blood wizards all. More than you can say, I don't doubt. Like,
Mr. Gaunt, said Ogden doggedly, I am afraid that neither your ancestors nor mine have anything to do with the matter at hand.
yeah, and that's just so not true to Marvolo. That is like the kind of thinking it's like so hard to even wrap your head around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, I really like, because to him he's basically just saying like, on what the heck it doesn't, like, of course it does. Like, maybe you didn't hear me. Descended from Slytherin, exempt from all punishment. Same thing.
My ancestor founded a high school.
Right?
Okay, what did your ancestor do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Make fire whiskey?
Make fire whiskey. It's good, by the way. I like it. Got some over here if you want some.
Shall we pour some? I'm gonna
pour some.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
And then you cut to a scene like 3 hours later, and it's like Ogden and Marvolo were just like laughing.
They're just they're having a good time.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, this is the real magic of Ogden's fire whiskey,
Clink.
Clink. That'd be so unexpected.
It would be so unexpected.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Our information is that Morphin performed a jinx or hex on said muggle, causing him to erupt in highly painful hives. Morphin giggled. Good to know the man still got a giggle left in him.
Yeah, he's still got some giggles in there. And he's like, yeah, I did.
Be quiet, boy, snarled Gaunt in Parseltongue, and Morphin fell silent again. And so what if he did? Gaunt said defiantly to Ogden. Expect you've wiped the muggle's filthy face clean for him, and his memory to boot.
No harm, no foul.
Exactly.
He doesn't remember it. He is not scarred. I mean, let's just put it in the past,
Right. And he's actually about to walk past the house, in fact. So he definitely does not remember.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No memory of this at all. He's like, I had you marked as a muggle lover the moment I saw you. It's like, all right, if you say so. This discussion is getting us nowhere. It is clear from your son's attitude that he feels no remorse for his actions. Glance at a scroll. Morphin will attend a hearing on the 14th of September to attend the charges of using magic in front of a muggle and causing harm to distress the same muggle.
Yeah. So this is also kind of interesting because it says that your son is clear from your son's attitude that he feels no remorse, which is famously one of the very last things Harry will plead with
You're right.
Voldemort
Remorse.
to do. Yeah, so you got to circle that one.
Yeah.
Because it's almost as if it's like that's part of what makes him so incapable. Is that like these people, like Voldemort, they couldn't feel remorse but had no power.
Right.
Voldemort has great power but can't feel remorse.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Right, yeah. But like it only really matters when you're at like this stage of having created all those Horcruxes.
Yeah, it's just it feels like there are things like remorse and love that are just like for like muggles that are just like emotions and feelings, but like on the wizard side of things, there's like a literal magic to them.
Right.
Or like a literal almost like genetic code for them, and that it has just simply been bred out of the Gaunt family tree.
Right. Yep. It almost does seem that way. Let's see here. So then it says Ogden broke off. The jingling clopping sounds of horses and loud laughing voices were drifting in through the open window.
There you go. Loud laughing voices. Gaunt froze, listening, his eyes wide. Morphin hissed and turned his face toward the sounds, his expression hungry. Merope raised her head. Her face, Harry saw, was starkly white. She is just like, oh no. This is so bad. Not now.
Right. My God, what an eyesore, rang out a girl's voice as clearly audible through the open window as if she stood in the room beside them.
Which is why this episode is brought to you by... No, it's not.
Couldn't your father have that hovel cleared away, Tom? So there we have Tom.
Yeah,
so
there's Tom.
That's a big one.
No, it's not ours. According to the other, everything on the other side of the valley belongs to us, but that cottage belongs to an old tramp named Gaunt and his children.
The son's quite mad. You should hear some of the stories they tell in the village.
Indeed.
And it's funny because he says the son's quite mad. You should hear some of the stories that they tell. It's like, you were attacked yesterday. Yeah. Of course, he doesn't remember that, but I do think it's interesting that like he's referring to like people's experiences from like a distance rather than like his own personal experience.
Right. He's been so wiped of it.
Exactly.
Yep. Morphin made to get out of the armchair. Keep your seat, said the father warningly, in parcel tongue, so probably more like...
Yeah, nicely performed.
Thank you. You know, I try. I'm working on it, you know, my hissing.
Yeah.
I stare in the mirror every morning. I'm like...
I almost had it. I know it. Yeah. You should get a snake just to be sure.
Yeah.
What if it is working? And
the
you just
key is
don't
to
know
not use your lips at all, you know?
Oh man. Then Cecilia, the woman speaking here, is going to say, Tom, I might be wrong, but has someone nailed a stake to that door?
Good Lord, you're right. That'll be the sun. I told you it's not right in the head. Don't look at it, Cecilia, darling.
You know what I think is funny is that it says, don't look at it, Cecilia. And the name Cecilia literally means blind.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So,
there we go.
Yeah, it's kind of
fun.
Interesting. But it also probably in this particular case is like you've got different brands of bad people between the two parties.
Oh yeah.
Here, like they're looking down on them just as much as like Marvolo looks down.
I mean, they are looking down on the Gaunts in the exact way the Gaunts think Ogden is looking down on them.
Also, yes, correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Marvolo also looks down on the Muggles because they're Muggles.
Right, exactly. There's just
so.
prejudice flying in every which way here.
Yeah.
And this entire next page is all in parcel tongue. All the dialogue anyway, because I highlighted all the parcel tongue and fun snake.
That's and fun snake.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Snake.
Great page for someone to get one day.
If you want chapter 10, page 210, that's a good page to get.
It's a good page.
Yeah. Very good. Darling, whispered Morphin in parcel tongue, looking at his sister. Darling, he called her, so he wouldn't have you anyway.
Morphin, did you feel like it was really on the table?
I know, right? Wouldn't have you anyway. I love that they're all having this in parcel tongue. So now Bob Ogden is standing there like, what is going on?
This has got to be confusing as heck.
Got to be confusing as heck. Yeah.
But so Marvolo is just learning for the first time that Merope has this like crush on Tom Riddle Sr.
Right.
What's that? What did you say, Morphin? And then Morphin's going to explain.
She likes looking at that muggle.
Always in the garden when he passes, peering through the hedge at him, isn't she? And last night, hanging out of the window, waiting for him to ride home, wasn't she?
Hanging out the window to look at a muggle, said Gaunt quietly. No, sorry, quietly. I should have been a little quieter. Yeah. The thing, here is the truly terrible thing about the amount of prejudice flying here is that, of course, Marvolo hates that his pureblood daughter is like pining after a muggle or whatever.
right.
And it's like you want her to betray her father's clearly like bigoted views on the world and just like be with Tom or something. Like good for you for fighting your family's like bigotry. But on the other side, if she had actually listened to him, Voldemort would not have been born.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like this terribleness to it. It's just like there's no right answer.
Well,
The right answer is just don't do what you did.
Don't do what you do. Don't love.
There's lots of right answers.
There's a lot of stuff that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that shouldn't happen.
But it is also unfortunate that like almost a piece of what you've got going on here clearly is just the obvious division between the non-magical and magical community, which is just it's like why more of the story doesn't have to do with that is a completely separate question. And not this story, but the whole story, the saga. But what's interesting as well is that like Merope likes a muggle. It's like that is the bridge we need to build.
Right.
Like it sucks so badly that what actually isn't prejudice on Merope's part, like ultimately will backfire so horrifically.
Right.
You know, but I mean, I think the idea is that like the reason Voldemort can even be so full of hate is that he's basically born of nothing but hate.
Right.
In every direction.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, Merope may not hate Tom Riddle, but Tom Riddle hates the Gaunts. And the Gaunts, in general, hate everyone who's not magical.
Right.
And most people who are magical.
Most people who are.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to be honest, it seems like most of the other pureblood families we run across are all pretty like wealthy and stuff. So I'm going to bet that most of the other pureblood families don't like them either.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
I would imagine so. Yeah. The dating pool is in fact limited.
It is. Yeah. No doubt about that.
You know what also was interesting though is that we never learn who is the mother of Morphin and Merope.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
We do not know.
It feels like that is a question that should be answered.
Yeah, we don't know that one. Yeah, I would like to know that. That'd be interesting information.
It
What
would
happened
be.
to their mom?
Right. Okay, let's see here. Is it true my daughter, pure-blooded descendant of Salazar Slytherin, hankering after a filthy, dirt-veined muggle?
Oh, dirt veined. It's like mud blood, but like dried. It's like dried mud blood.
It's like a dry heat.
Yeah.
You know, like all the moisture's gone from it and all that's left is just dirt.
Yeah, gross. Yeah, man.
It doesn't feel like a good way for your
For your blood to be carried around your body.
Yeah, it's like circulation ceases.
Yeah,
if your blood becomes dirt.
A lot of clotting.
Yeah. But I got him, father, cackled Morphin. I got him as he went by, and he didn't look so pretty with hives all over him, did he, Merope? You disgusting little squib, you filthy little blood traitor.
Man, so Voldemort's uncle attacked his eventual father, and then Voldemort later frames his uncle for the murder of his father.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like a freaky seckle.
It's like a freaky seckle.
Nice. Okay. Both Harry and Ogden yelled no at the same time. Ogden raised his wand and cried, Relatio. Oh, sorry. This is because Gaunt lost control and put his hands around his daughter's throat.
Yeah.
I like how Harry, though, was so like caught up in all of this that he forgets that it took place like 70 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that he's like defending. That's like also like a good like moment for Harry, though, where it's like he in the moment is still like defending Voldemort's mom.
Right.
You know,
right,
he doesn't realize that yet, but you know.
But she will go on to be responsible for the creation of the person who has like ruined Harry's life in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And yet he's still defending her.
Yeah. So other fun facts about Merope real quick, because this is just where I wrote them down in my book, is that Merope, as so many of the purebloods are, is named after a star as well, part of a constellation, a 7-star constellation, and Merope is the dullest star in that constellation. And it is believed in mythology that star is the dullest because Merope was the daughter of the Titan Atlas, one of his daughters, and she was a nymph who married a mortal. So that made her like disgraced amongst them, which is obviously very similar to Merope, who is in love with a muggle. And that's like the same as a mortal. She's also the youngest of 7 sisters, 7 being like the most powerful magical number.
It's always 7.
So it's always 7. Yep.
How about that? Yep, there we go.
Yep.
So then as the scene kind of continues, it says that like Ogden basically is just running for his life away from the Gaunt household because of Morphin running at him with the bloody knife and firing hexes indiscriminately at him. Ogden hurtles down the path, erupts onto the main lane, where he collides with the glossy chestnut horse ridden by the very handsome, dark-haired young man. So this is like a reach at best, but I still felt like there was maybe something to it.
Yep.
The chestnut wood for a wand is described as being a blank canvas based on the core that goes inside of it. And when paired with a dragon heartstring core, it is in reference to those people who like luxury or material things, which I feel like is very fitting for Tom Riddle Sr.
Sure.
But then also just an additional little piece of information here is that Peter's wand is also that exact combination.
Interesting.
The brittle one made at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. So not that it matters that much, but the selection of the color of chestnut could have some mild undertones.
I suppose it could. The other thing, I actually wrote down something completely different for it.
Oh, okay.
Because you have a chestnut horse being ridden by a dark-haired young man. Interestingly, the first time Harry goes into the forest, he encounters 2 centaurs of the same description, with Ronan being a chestnut body and with Bane having dark hair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, how about that?
So there you go, which are also, they're like horses. So, you know.
Yeah.
So there you go. I was like, I wasn't sure what there is there. And then I was like, we don't get a description of Cecilia, but like potentially, I mean, I don't know why, but you could probably compare her to Ferenz and is like blonde, because the only other one we know is Megorian, and he's also described as dark, and Cecilia's riding on a gray horse, so it's like dark gray. I don't know. Like the 4 centaurs we know is supposed to like represent these 2 right here in some way.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why that would be the case. I don't know what other than that they're on horses.
Right. Yes. Yeah. But you know what? Why not dig into every little detail? That is the point of this show.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we effectively reach the end of Bog Ogden's memory, to which Dumbledore's going to say, "I think that will do, Harry." And they will land squarely on their feet back in Dumbledore's office, which is now Twilight office.
Twilight, like a vampire.
Yes, exactly. What happened to the girl in the cottage? Merope, or whatever her name was.
Exactly, Harry. Whatever her name is.
Maybe Merope, who's to say?
Merope?
Yeah.
Merope?
Yeah. Oh, she survived. Ogden operated back to the ministry and returned with reinforcements within 15 minutes. Morphin and his father attempted to fight, but both were overpowered, removed from the cottage, and subsequently convicted by the Wizengamot. Morphin, who already had a record of Muggle attacks, was sentenced to 3 years in Azkaban.
3 years? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You kidding me? Not more than that? Doesn't Hagrid get like sent for like life because a spider killed somebody?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Marvolo, who had injured several ministry employees in addition to Ogden, received 6 months. And finally, we have the name on the page spelled out as Marvolo.
There we go. Marvolo.
Yeah.
Harry doesn't miss a beat on that one.
Yes. And Dumbledore's going to say, "That's right. I'm glad to see you're keeping up. That old man was Voldemort's grandfather." Yes. Marvolo, his son Morphin, and his daughter Merope were the last of the Gaunts, a very ancient wizarding family, noted for a vein of instability and violence that flourished through the generations due to their habit of marrying their own cousins.
I feel like he's really also throwing some shade over at Ilvermorny over there at the moment, you know?
Why is that?
Just because he's like, last of the Gaunts, very ancient, known for instability and violence. And it's like, well, I mean, you run a school, and the Gaunt family founded a different school,
right?
So like an American school, and it's like probably pretty unstable over there. You know what I'm saying?
Probably.
Yeah. I guess this is right. Isolde Sire. She is
Isolde Sire.
She's a Gaunt. Right?
Is she a Gaunt? Why doesn't she have the Gaunt name?
Because who was her aunt? Gormlaith Gaunt.
Gormlaith. Yeah.
Gormlaith Gaunt's sister marries the Muggle sire.
Okay.
And they have Isolde Sire.
Okay.
And Isolde then escapes to America, where she meets James Boot, right? James Stewart.
Nice.
James Stewart. And they adopt 2 wizard children that they find in the woods, as you do. And then the 4 of them found a school.
Indeed.
There you go. The Boot boys. Those are the Boots.
The Boots. Okay.
The Boot boys. Yes, they adopt them. They form a school. And then Gormlaith comes over and she's like, I found you. It's time to die.
But then she doesn't die.
But at that point, she still has Slytherin's wand, because that's how she escaped in the first place, is that she stole Slytherin's wand from Gormlaith Gaunt, and that's how she got to America.
Got it.
Boom, yeah, there you go. Ilvermorny history on the fly.
Everybody was like, we need more of it in this moment.
They also meet a Puckwudgie at some point, and he's one of the houses at Ilvermorny for some reason.
Why not?
Why not? Eh?
Yeah. I love
because James thought he was funny. That's why.
I love how we have like almost more information about the founding of Ilvermorny than we do Hogwarts.
What do you mean we almost?
We do.
We have like
more.
the exact story of what happened.
Down to the Puckwudgie.
Down to the Puckwudgie, you know?
Yeah. All right, let's see here. So we get the distinction. So Dumbledore's kind of like recapping the key details that we saw. A couple of family heirlooms that he treasured just as much as his son, and rather more than his daughter.
Like, what is his problem with Merope?
I don't know. That's the part that like befuddles me. So Merope was Voldemort's mother. And sure enough, she is, and it so happens that we had a glimpse of Voldemort's father. I wonder whether you noticed. The Muggle, Morphin attacked, the man of the horse. Very good indeed, said Dumbledore, beaming. Yes, that was Tom Riddle Sr., the handsome Muggle who used to go riding past the Gaunt cottage, and for whom Merope Gaunt cherished a secret burning passion.
A burning passion.
Yeah, and Harry's like, they ended up together? Because I don't think so.
Can't imagine 2 people less likely to end up together.
Right. And then Dumbledore's going to say, I think you are forgetting that Merope was a witch. I do not believe that her magical powers appeared to the best advantage when she was being terrorized by her father. But once Marvolo and Morphin were taken to Azkaban, she was alone for the first time in her life. She was able to give full rein to her abilities and plot her escape from the desperate life that she had led for 18 years.
Right. And here Dumbledore says, can you think of no way in which she could have convinced Tom Riddle? And Harry's like, the Imperious Curse or a love potion? And Dumbledore's like, very good. I'm inclined to think she used a love potion. But to me, I'm like, I'm not inclined to think it was a love potion. The love potion we just learned in this book is an NEWT level potion that is extremely difficult to brew.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, right. So I agree with you. And it's like, this is the thing where it's like Merope couldn't like repair a pot from across the room and then make it to caliber such that she was able to brew a love potion.
Right.
Feels rather extraordinary.
Right.
Like,
I think it's way more likely, because love potion is like, you get the ingredients, you got to like practice making potions, you know?
Yeah.
Like it takes years of study to do it. But like, I would believe that she could do the Imperious Curse, because I would almost believe that it had been used on her a ton by her dad.
Probably.
Like, I bet she knows a lot about that curse.
Right. But so then the thing is, like, this is where we're getting to like the Slughorn theory.
I know, there's that too.
That,
like,
which
if it's a love potion, she has to have help.
She has to have help. And the one thing you could possibly think is that if there was like someone who may grant her extra attention that maybe isn't otherwise deserved, it could be due to her Slytherin heritage. And if we know somebody who like pays meaning to such things, it's Slughorn.
Yep. And she would have the heirlooms to prove it, or the locket at the very least.
That's right. Yep.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's always an outside chance there, which would mean that Slughorn actually has 2 really dark ways that he directly contributed to the creation of Lord Voldemort by.
Right. If he helped her make a love potion that she then used to ensnare Tom Riddle, thus giving birth to Voldemort, and then telling him whether, or I guess giving him information about the Horcruxes that he could maybe make 7.
Right. Right. Yep. Because, I mean, he's very ashamed for giving Tom Riddle that information.
Yes. But at that time, the Slug Club is all Slytherin. So it seems like probably post Voldemort, he was like, not just Slytherin.
Yes, exactly.
Look at me. I'm open to all things.
Oh, right. I've grown.
I've grown.
But you could see, if the Slug Club used to be all Slytherins, And even where he's like, you mustn't think I'm prejudiced. It's because like, he's kind of like, because I used to be, but I stopped.
Exactly.
I grew up. I got better. Yeah. So lots of, I don't know. I mean, lots of evidence to point to that outside possibility, but it's always hard to say.
It is because it's also like, I mean, we don't know how old Merope is in this situation here, but it says
we do. Yeah. It says the desperate life that she had led for 18 years.
Oh, I'm sorry. She's 18. So she would have been graduated from Hogwarts at this point if she had gone to Hogwarts.
If she had gone to Hogwarts. But it also says, like, I do not believe that her magical powers appeared to their best advantage when she was being terrorized by her father. Once Marvolo and Morphin were safely in Azkaban, once she was alone and free for the first time in her life.
And yeah, because that makes sense. Because if she was at school, then she would at least been, away from them.
She would at least be away from them.
For like most of the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. It seems like at that point you might be able to like overcome things more when you're back home, kind of like how as Harry gets older, the Dursleys really just don't have as much on him anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're so in the weeds on it, but it's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Yeah, I just think, Anyway, Imperious Curse makes more sense to me, but the canon suggests Love Potion. So.
Right. Yep.
But because Dumbledore's reasoning is, I do not think it would have been very difficult on some hot day when Riddle was riding alone to persuade him to take a drink of water. To which I'm like, did you just see him? Do you think he's just going to be like taking water from her from this like hovel on the side of the road? I don't think so.
It seems so unlikely.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another question. It says, within a few months of the scene we just witnessed, the village of Little Hangleton enjoyed a tremendous scandal. Does it say when we're learning about the different potions, how long it takes to brew Love Potion?
Good question.
Because
this is a few months.
A few
could be open to interpretation, but it seems like probably like if it's like 6 months, you'd probably say like within half a year.
Yeah.
Right. Where is that? Hold, please.
Right. Well, so I'm looking at here, page 184. We see Veritaserum, colorless, odorless potion, which I think Snape tells Umbridge takes a month to brew. Polyjuice potion takes quite
about a month
time to brew.
I think Felix Felicis might be the 6 month one.
Felix Felicis might be.
Yeah, let's see. And let's see. Excellent. Now this one here, it's Amortentia, and it almost seems foolish to ask. Yes, steam rising characteristic spirals. May I ask your name? Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Malfoy looked rather as he done. Hermione punched him in the face. He drew a town the best of our year. Well, here, actually, just a page later, this is where it says, when you have seen as much of life as I have, you will not underestimate the power of obsessive love, which is very much what Merope has for Tom Riddle.
Okay, that is one of the lines that I think fits rather nicely. And even if she doesn't go to Hogwarts, I don't think it is necessarily beyond the realm of possibility that she could still be collected. It's not in the most traditional way, but you're probably dealing with a Slughorn too, who's like considerably younger. Like he's probably at this point only like in his like late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
So you definitely have a different kind of Slughorn who has not grown.
Yeah. Who has not perfected the craft. Exactly. He might be more willing to do stuff to collect people.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
The bar might be lower.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway. Yes, so within a few months, Little Hangleton enjoyed a tremendous scandal. You can imagine the gossip that it caused when the squire's son ran off with the tramp's daughter, Merope. But the villager's sock was nothing compared to Marvolo's when he eventually returned to discover a clear inch of dust and her note of farewell explaining what she had done. Which I also find very interesting because if she left a note, it's like, then there's at least maybe some detail out there somewhere that tells us what happened.
That tells us what happened. Yeah, like that I ran away with Tom Riddle... ... gave him a love potion.
But I wouldn't give for that note.
Well, oh, I know, right? Where is that note? Indeed. Indeed. Yes. From all that I've been able to discover, he never mentioned her name or existence from that time forth. Well, all right. How did you discover that there was a note? That's what I want to know.
I know, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then basically Marvolo dies, and we're not really sure whether or not it's because of like a heartbreak, disappointment, or just he just didn't know how to cook.
Yeah. He just never learned how to feed himself, you know?
So that's that.
Whoops.
You know how these things go.
Yep.
And then Harry's gonna be like, and Merope, she died, didn't she? Wasn't Voldemort brought up in an orphanage? Yes, indeed. You see, within a few months of their runaway marriage, Tom Riddle reappeared at the manor house in Little Hangleton without his wife. He explained that he had been hoodwinked or taken in. And
Quite right.
Yes. What I'm sure he meant is that he had been under an enchantment that had now been lifted, though I dare say he did not dare use those precise words for fear of being thought insane.
How could he even know?
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Also, it's like, I don't even think it would be that unlikely to be like, I don't know. I think I was under like an enchantment. Like, I think at that point, maybe you just reach for that word.
I know, right? Like, I think she was a witch, you know? Let's burn her.
You know how I did like an incredibly unlikely thing given like all of the rest of my life and our relationship with these people whose like house we go like, horseback riding past all the time? Like, something happened.
Something happened.
I think we can all agree something
It was
happened.
pretty weird. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think that they might not have thought he was that insane, but that's what Dumbledore thinks. When they heard what he was saying, however, the villagers guessed that Merope had lied to Tom Riddle, pretending that she was going to have his baby and that he had married her for this reason. But it's like, but that still doesn't explain why he got together with her in the first place. right. Yes. Yeah, so why did the love potions stop working? Again, this is guesswork, but I believe that Merope, who was deeply in love with her husband, deeply obsessed.
Yeah, I was going to say infatuated, I think is probably the better word, could not bear to continue enslaving him by magical means. I believe that
How kind of her.
Yes, very sweet now at this point.
Yeah.
She made the choice to stop giving him the potion. Perhaps, besotted as she was, she convinced herself that he would by now have fallen in love with her in return.
This is really misguided by Merope here, that she thinks that this guy is going to love her in return when she kidnapped him and then, forced herself upon him and then was like, hey, guess what? I'm pregnant.
You want to stay?
You want to stay? You love me too.
He does not want to stay.
He does not want to stay.
Yep.
Yeah. It's all pretty terrible stuff she's doing too.
Right. Yeah.
You're made to feel pretty sorry for her early in the chapter, but this is like very bad.
It's very bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So basically, he returns to his normal life and never seeks out his son ever again.
Yeah, but he is sought out by his son.
That is true, and killed for it.
Yeah.
Yep. But that is going to bring at least this particular discussion nearly to a close, where Dumbledore is going to say, I think that will do for tonight, Harry. To which Harry's going to be like, yes, sir. But also, sir, is it important that we know all this about Voldemort's past?
How can you even ask that, Harry?
I know it's all I can think is that this is a description to you, the reader, because maybe like you've been excited about being taught like really cool defensive magic, like the giant ring of fire that he uses against the Imperi or whatever.
Yeah.
And instead it's sort of like a history lesson. And it's like one of those things seems more exciting than the other. It's like,
it sure does.
Is that what we're getting? And it's like, yes, in fact, we need to know these things. It's very important that you learn them. So maybe it's a little bit of like a guard up against the reader to be like, no, trust me, this is important. Keep going. Because basically it's just going to like really double down. Like it's got something to do with the prophecy. It's got everything to do with the prophecy.
Yeah. Feels like you could say more there, Dumbledore.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with the prophecy, Harry. We're going to slowly be unraveling what I think is his weakness.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Then we get the question as to whether or not he's allowed to tell Ron and Hermione. This is something that Dumbledore, I think, like, again, this might be like more of like writing convenience than anything else, but like, you can't not have Ron and Hermione know.
Yeah.
Because Harry will not tell anyone, not the Order of the Phoenix, not anyone, not Lupin, whatever. He's not allowed to tell anyone at all.
Right.
And yet he is able to tell, these like two underqualified, wizards basically, about what's going on.
But it's like, it is very dumb. I like that it says Dumbledore considered him for a moment. It's like, he like clearly that means that his intent was like for Harry to not tell anybody. And then he has to like think about, okay, is it okay? Yes.
Yeah. And that's where like friendship matters as much as anything else. Like that is love represented.
Right. This is Dumbledore being like, I must choose to trust Snape,
Right.
And he's like, you need to be able to put trust in other people. And
Right.
I have to bet on that because that's my whole thing.
Yes. And I mean, it goes back to the Fidelius charm, that breaks against the Potters.
Yep.
On some level, like Harry in this moment, like I bet he's having flashbacks to them being like, we want to use Peter instead of Sirius. And it's like, okay.
Like, you can use me, I'm available.
Right.
It's like, no, it doesn't matter. we trust you all the same. And so this is just like strategically better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. I wouldn't imagine any of you betraying me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Harry tells the whole room that.
He does.
Yeah, after the Battle of the Seven Potters.
That's right. That is exactly what he says. You're totally right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, it's such an echo of Lily and James, but for like, it's like you would never think of Lily and James as foolish for trusting their friends.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not the right take.
I know. That's the thing. Like if you do the Marauder series, it's the same thing. If you ever make the Marauder series, like you have to really see the friendship of like James and Peter as much as any of the others.
You would have to see it.
It can't constantly be like, Peter's just being a jerk behind the scenes or something. Like,
right.
You need to, like, there needs to be almost like an episode dedicated to like James and Peter hanging out, literally just having fun.
Right.
You know?
Yep. It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's that. Oh, man. Yeah. That is where Marauder series, I think, could be a bop.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they're fun people,
They are fun people, and they're funny people.
They're funny people.
Yeah. But the one word of caution that he will provide to Harry here, though, is that it would not be a good idea if word got around how much I know or suspect about Lord Voldemort's secrets.
Very true.
Very, very true. Because one of the things that is a huge boon to Harry in this battle is that Voldemort doesn't know that he's hunting Horcruxes.
I mean, the fact that, case in point is when Voldemort figures it out, that is what causes the Battle of Hogwarts.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you need to be further along before that can ever be discovered.
Right.
Let's see here. So Harry turned away again, was almost at the door when he saw it. Sitting on one of the little spindle-like tables that supported so many frail-looking silver instruments was an ugly gold ring set with a large, cracked black stone.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, that ring. Yes, said Dumbledore.
You were wearing it when we visited Professor Slughorn that night. So I was. But isn't it the same ring Marvolo Gaunt showed Ogden? The very same. See ya.
But how come? Have you always had it? No.
Yeah. You're being so unhelpful, Dumbledore. And if I believe what Harry said at the beginning was, I thought you were going to tell me everything.
But how come? Have you always had it? No, I got it very recently. A few days before I came to fetch you from your aunt and uncle's, in fact.
That'd be around the time you injured your head then. Yeah, that's right. You're putting the dots together.
Sir, how exactly? Too late, Harry. You shall hear the story another time.
I feel like the Jeopardy noise just being like, boop, boop. Yeah. Ooh, sorry. The answer was good night.
Good night. Good night. What does good night mean?
What does good night? Better luck next time, Harry.
Yeah, exactly. But with that, it does bring us to the end of chapter 10. Looking forward to chapter 11, Hermione's helping hand. But before we close out for the day, Jay, do you have a review for us?
I sure do, Ben. This one comes from Will H20. Daily listening with one big Voldemort mystery. Hey, brother. 5 stars. I'm only at the start of Goblet of Fire, so I still have a long way to go, but Through the Gryffindor has already become my daily listen. Jay and Ben strike a great balance between thoughtful literary analysis, humor, and genuine excitement for the world of Harry Potter. They constantly point out connections and details that make me want to go back and reread the books with fresh eyes. One of the things I appreciate the most is that they don't just recap the story. They ask interesting questions and explore why behind the magic, characters, and world building. It's exactly the kind of Harry Potter discussion I've been looking for. Since I'm still catching up, I don't know if you've already covered this, but I have a question I'd love to hear you discuss. When Voldemort cast Avada Kedavra at baby Harry, what happened to his physical body? Normally, the killing curse leaves the victim's body intact, yet after the curse rebounded, Voldemort lost his corporeal form entirely. Did his body simply disintegrate? Is there any canon explanation or theory you've come across for why this event was different from every other use of the killing curse? There you go.
Boy, howdy. It's a good question.
So yeah, why does he lose his body?
Why does he? Right. Because one of the things that we always come back to is how he gets his own wand back,
right.
Which we know it is in fact that wand because when we have Priori Incantatem in the graveyard, Lily and James come out of it.
Right.
And so that is really the key marker. Like it's the same wand.
Same wand.
Ollivander made it for him. It's got the twin cores, all that type of stuff. So that piece is still there. Now, I mean, they say like, part of the house explodes as a part of it. There are some layers to that you could kind of be like, oh, like, maybe it was just, like maybe it's gruesome, like maybe he was like blown up or something.
Like we don't get a good look at it, but yeah, like it looks like the house is blown up and the spell backfires. So you can almost like when I imagine it, it's like a big green like orb or like blast of magical energy comes back out of it. And as it's Avada Kedavra and it's more of like an explosion, it kind of like just like evaporates his body away. Yeah,
that's sort of like how I've always imagined it as well. And like I don't even know, like I'd be curious to think about this a little bit more as well. But like because the room explodes, it's almost as if the Avada Kedavra spell can't kill Harry because of the sacrificial, protection that Lily's just cast on him. But like I wonder what the like orb of safety exists there is, because it seems like then you could almost just have like the damage from the room itself cause harm to Harry, which it doesn't do. So it almost makes you wonder whether or not, like, not only does the spell bounce off, but then Harry is protected by all ramifications of the spell.
I think that might be the case. Yeah. Cause it's like, this is still the spell. It's the effect of the spell cast by the person.
It's the effect of the spell cast by the person, which I think then could be like as close as we can get to a canon explanation would effectively be that like nothing that happens from the Avada Kedavra spell can hurt Harry. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense because it just doesn't work. But physical destruction does happen.
Right. To the house.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like if the room blows up, then it's like, it's like you could either assume that the spell like sort of like incinerates or not incinerates. That seems
it's not fire.
It's not fire, right? But like vaporizes, like his physical form almost like a laser,
right?
Or something.
It's like a laser.
It's like a laser. But like I don't know if I think he's like magically like vanished. That's not really how I've like imagined it.
Yeah, like I don't think he magically vanishes. I'm trying to think then too if it has anything to do with like the fact that he's made the Horcruxes at this point. Like if he's just if let's say it's different, he's already made the Horcruxes and it's not a spell backfiring. He's just like fighting Dumbledore in a duel and Dumbledore hits him with Avada Kedavra. Like, does his body evaporate then? Or
oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see what you mean. Like, and I mean, his physical form may be living in a much more delicate balance than the usual physical body because he's not whole.
Right. That's true too. Yeah. Like, would his body evaporate if it wasn't for like this big explosion? But like, he's Voldemort prime. So would it just like, could he just survive an Avada Kedavra hit to the, body?
No,
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think
but
if his physical form is destroyed, then you have that the vapor mist that has to like go and rebuild its body again.
Right. So if he's hit by Avada Kedavra at all, then because like that body would be like then why wouldn't if he's hit with Avada Kedavra, that body is dead.
If he's hit with Avada Kedavra, that body is dead.
Right.
Yes.
But Voldemort Prime, that's the weird thing is that would Voldemort Prime's soul be dead? Because that's the part that's supposed to be anchored.
That is anchored. Yes, I think that's the main thing. Like the diary, I think confuses things because it seems like it has the ability to come back to life in a human form, like by taking somebody else's life force, which is Ginny's in that particular case. But they don't all work like that. Like the rest of them are just anchors. So like the cup can't ever come to life. The diadem can't come to life. Like all they do is live in the mortal realm and effectively like chain your soul from passing, in air quotes on.
Right.
Is the way that I feel like we've typically interpreted it. It's going to sound like a weird example, but if you've seen the Catching Fire Hunger Games movie, there is like this one pie slice that's filled with this like white smoke. And once you exit the area that the white smoke is in, it runs into this like invisible wall.
Yeah.
And kind of creates like a slightly opaque cloud.
Right.
That is almost what I picture as if there's like an invisible wall between the living and the dead and his, Voldemort Prime soul runs into it.
Right. It cannot be pulled through.
It can't be pulled through. I know that we're like way off the body portion of it right now, but that's where it almost feels like.
But like if his body wasn't destroyed by like a regular Avada Kedavra curse, then why couldn't his soul go back into that body?
That's a good point.
It's
a good point.
So, because to me, it's like, so maybe this is it then.
Okay.
If he's just if he's made the Horcruxes and he's in a regular duel with another wizard and they hit Voldemort Prime with Avada Kedavra, his body is still destroyed and he still goes into the vapor mist and has to rebuild his body.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Now, on the flip side, I don't think it matters because if, let's say, he's attacking baby Harry and let's say he has not made any Horcruxes at all, he's just regular Voldemort, goes in there, same thing happens, and the spell backfires. I still don't think he has a body because the act of the backfiring spell would just evaporate it anyway.
I see.
Right?
I see what you mean.
So his body is missing for 2 reasons post backfire.
Okay.
Because the explosions is enough to just get rid of the body either way. And even if it wasn't, even if it was like a laser pointer in a mirror, that still would have done it, I think.
Yeah, it would almost be curious too. I mean, this is just pure guesswork. There's nothing to actually support it. But if the Avada Kedavra spell almost becomes like even more powerful if it bounces off of something because it's not meant to.
Right. Yeah.
You know, almost if it like doubles its energy by like being reflected.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like it comes back like twice as hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like we've seen Avada Kedavra be destructive to the tune of like blowing up like a grave marker when Harry's hiding behind it in the graveyard.
Yeah.
And then also destroying elements of the golden statues of the Fountain of Magical Brethren. It can damage those.
Yep.
Except for the pure gold ones where it like glances off of
You're
it.
right. Yeah.
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 So
they're not all pure gold then.
That's right. That's right. It can cause physical destruction though, is the point.
Yes, again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I know that probably doesn't quite get you to where you're looking for, but I think that at least with our combined knowledges at this moment, without discovering any other cool loophole, which could always exist, we tend to keep finding them as we do this particular saga. But hopefully that gets us a little close to answering your particular question. But as always, guys, if you would like for us to answer one of your questions, please leave us a review and we will check it out and potentially snag it here for the end of one of our episodes.
Yes, we will. And otherwise, don't forget, you can still head over to our Patreon page and sign up for the Owlry, where you can then ask questions there. And that's a little after show we do after each episode where we dive deeper into one of your questions and just talk about that for like 15 to 20 minutes.
That's right.
Yeah. But otherwise, that's going to do it for us today. Make sure you join us next week for Chapter 11, Hermione's Helping Hand, here on Through the Griffin Door.
Today's episode was edited by Ethan Edghill. Vaishon Brandon does our art. Catherine Stein is our production manager, and the show is hosted by me and Jonathan Carlin.